What's up everybody, I'm HoopsandHipHop. So it's been several months since Sword and Shield was released, and we now have a pretty good crop of new Galar Pokemon that have been officially revealed. We've obviously seen the starters, we've been introduced to the adorable sheep Pokemon Wooloo, and we now know of the glory that is Yamper. With that being said though, even though we've been introduced to about 10 to 15 new Pokemon, there are still several very specific Pokemon design ideas that we still need to see in these games, and that's what we're going to be talking about today. The reason why these Pokemon ideas need to be seen is just given the whole context of this game itself. Given the setting that is based on the UK, given the different things we've seen within the game itself, these are ideas that just have to happen in this game, and it would be an absolute crime if they didn't. So that's what we're going to talk about today. I'm going to go over ideas, designs, and basically why they need to be a part of the game. So without any further ado, and in no particular order, here are 5 new Pokemon we still need to see for Pokemon Sword and Shield. Starting off this list, we have what is probably one of the more obvious picks, and that would be a unicorn Pokemon. Now, the reason why we need to have a unicorn Pokemon in these games is because the unicorn is the national animal of Scotland, who is a part of the UK. And when you have a mythical creature like this, that is literally the national animal of the country that you're basing your region on, that's literally the recipe for a Pokemon design. You cannot avoid that. Now, you could argue that we already have a unicorn Pokemon in Rapidash, but to counter that argument, I would say we already had a sheep Pokemon in Mareep who was pretty dang good, and Wooloo seemed to work out just fine. So I think a similar situation could work out here, especially if this unicorn Pokemon was some kind of legendary or mythical. Like I said before, the unicorn is already a mythical creature, so that kind of makes it a no-brainer, but it also has the notoriety of being a national animal, so I really don't see any reason why Game Freak wouldn't include this into the game, and I can't really see any reason being justified if they were to not include this, so this is definitely something that has to happen in Sword and Shield. Up next on the list is a Loch Ness monster Pokemon. Now, I've already talked several times about how we need to have a Loch Ness monster Pokemon in these games, and I've given several different ideas as to how that could potentially be accomplished. We could potentially see a pre-evolution or an evolution to Lapras, since Lapras was already based on the Loch Ness monster. We could see potentially a Gigantamax form, or maybe we could even see a brand new Pokemon who's also based on the Loch Ness monster. I honestly don't really care how they accomplish this. All I really know is that it needs to happen in the game, because a creature like the Loch Ness monster, just like the unicorn, is just absolute golden material in terms of basing it on a Pokemon. It's the type of thing that you can't really pass up in terms of looking for new things to base Pokemon on. And the fact that it has a background with this new region just absolutely makes it a no-brainer. And once again, just like with the unicorn Pokemon, given the mythical nature of the Loch Ness monster within Scotland, and therefore now the Galar region, a Loch Ness monster Pokemon could very well easily be a legendary or a mythical itself, or at the very least it could be an event Pokemon where you are involved in some kind of side quest in order to go track it down and catch it, which obviously adds so much potential for not only the gameplay, but this Pokemon as well. So yeah, basically this one is a no-brainer. Given how significant the Loch Ness monster is, given how well known it is, given that it's based in the area where this game is also based, and given the fact that it's just the perfect inspiration for a Pokemon, just makes this something that we absolutely need to see in the games. And coming in at the middle of the list, we have a Pokemon that would be based on the Welsh dragon. Now, Wales is also a part of the UK, and the thing that makes it so cool is that they literally have a dragon on their nation's flag. Like, it doesn't really get much cooler than that. The Welsh dragon just does a really good job of exemplifying how important and significant dragons are within European mythology, because that's really where all of the stories of knights and dragons and princesses originated from. And once again, similar to the unicorn or the Loch Ness monster, the fact that this is such a fixture within the UK culture, and the fact that it's so well known in the rest of the world as well as kind of an icon of Wales and an icon of the UK, it just needs to happen in Pokemon form in one way or another. It doesn't even need to necessarily be a legendary or a mythical just because it is the symbol of one of the nations of the UK. It absolutely can be just a regular Pokemon, and that would be fine. It just needs to have some kind of representation in the game given its significance within the culture of Wales and then by extension the entire UK, and it would just be a travesty and a big missed opportunity if it wasn't. We already know that there's going to be a significant amount of Dragon-type Pokemon in these games. Most likely, we've already been introduced to one who is a Steel Dragon in Duraludon, so if you're gonna have a significant amount of Dragon types anyway, in all likelihood, why not base a Pokemon on arguably the most famous dragon in the UK, the Welsh Dragon? And yeah, that pretty much just speaks for itself. We've gotta have this in Sword and Shield. This next Pokemon we need to have in Sword and Shield actually originates from what is in Sword and Shield specifically, as opposed to the different things that it is based on, and that would be the Hill Figure Pokemon. Now, what I'm referring to when I talk about the Hill Figure Pokemon is that giant hill figure that we saw in the reveal trailer. I'm basically saying that that needs to be its own unique Pokemon, as opposed to some other possibilities that it could potentially be as well. When Pokemon Sword and Shield were first revealed, this was absolutely thought to be some kind of legendary Pokemon, because why else would you put a giant figure of some giant creature on a hill and memorialize it for eternity? But then as we started to learn more about the game, we got introduced to Dynamaxing and Gigantamaxing, and it kind of became a very real possibility that this hill figure might just be illustrating the idea of Dynamaxing or Gigantamaxing and might not necessarily be any one specific Pokemon. However, that is why I am here to advocate against that, because this also absolutely needs to be its own unique Pokemon within the game. We do see that the hill figure is next to the city that contains the first gym, which is where most likely we are going to learn about Dynamaxing and use it for the first time. So this hill figure is probably depicting either the idea of Gigantamaxing or Dynamaxing, or it's depicting the very first Dynamax, kind of how Lucario was depicted in the Tower of Mastery as the very first Pokemon to have Mega Evolved. I just think when you have a big giant picture like this of some kind of creature, obviously, that is so fascinating yet so mysterious at the same time, that has got to be made into a Pokemon, because once again, it's just dying to have its own unique design based on the presentation that you've given it. And if it was just a generic depiction that didn't necessarily illustrate any one specific Pokemon, that would just honestly be a big disappointment. So I'm really hoping that this is actually showing what some kind of brand new Pokemon actually looks like. And to round off the video, I've actually saved the best for last, because while all throughout this video I've been talking about the myths and legends and icons of the United Kingdom, we are going to finish off with something a little more common and a little more down to earth, and that would be a red squirrel Pokemon. Before Pokemon Sword and Shield was even announced, I talked about a red squirrel Pokemon as one of my most wanted Generation 8 Pokemon, and that still rings true to this day, especially because we know that Sword and Shield is based in the UK, where red squirrels are native to. And on top of that, we have already seen what seems to be some kind of squirrel Pokemon in the background of various trailers, so I would really like to see that squirrel Pokemon become a red squirrel Pokemon, because that's really the best kind of squirrel Pokemon you could have given the setting of these games. Now, obviously the jury is still out on whether or not this Pokemon could be a red squirrel Pokemon, but regardless, there needs to be a red squirrel Pokemon somewhere within this game, because frankly, the red squirrel is already basically the Pokemon version of the squirrel animal in general. In fact, the red squirrel already basically accomplishes that philosophy in real life, so basically all you have to do is convert that into the Pokemon world, maybe slap on a unique fire typing or something like that, and boom, you have got a really nice Pokemon that also makes a lot of sense within the Galar region that you probably won't get the chance to do anywhere else, so why not take the opportunity and just give it to us? Out of any of the more common Pokemon we could potentially see in these games, this is probably one that I would like to see the most that we haven't seen yet, so here's hoping it will actually happen in the game, because I am sincerely dying to get my hands on a red squirrel Pokemon. And there we have it, everybody. Now, these were 5 Pokemon I believe we need to see for one reason or another in Sword and Shield, but it's definitely not the end-all be-all type of list. So what do you guys think of this list in particular, and are there any other things that should be made into Pokemon for these games? Once again, let me know in the comments below, and if you enjoyed the video, be sure to give it a like because it really helps out the video and the channel. If you are new to the channel as well, be sure to subscribe for more new Pokemon content every week. Once again, thank you for 100K. I've said it a million times, but just want to say it again. Thank you. And if you want to support the channel further, you can check me out on Spotify and give some of my Pokemon remixes a listen, which directly supports the channel right here on YouTube. With all of that being said though, I'll be back on Thursday with another video, so be sure to hit that notification bell so you can know when it goes live. And until then, as always, I love you guys so much, and I will smell you guys later.